Uh-huh. Oh, Lord, what I do? I done lost you. Oh, there.
Oh, that's what I'm confused. All right. Mm. I feel like I'm trying to take it back to the 90s because 2021 is shaping up to be no bueno.
Already. Oh.
Mm, mm, mm. All right. Well, how you doing, girl?
I am good. I am good. Happy to be back. I missed
Yes. I missed you too. Though I feel like we saw more than we expected to see of each other in the holiday break, but I think it was a good thing.
I must say that was not a bad thing. That was not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all. All right. Oh. How did the holidays go for you guys?
The holidays went well. I'm sure you heard a lot of people say this already, but I really enjoyed like just being able to be at home and not be on the go as much. Like I'm always on the go and on the move, as I say. And it was nice to have a holiday where I didn't have to be from event to event to event to event. And then
Right.
Also I really did enjoy like this was probably the only downtime I've had at my job, my 9 to 5. So it was nice to just be able to breathe for a while and not feel like, everything is just go, go, go. So that was nice. I really enjoyed that. How about you?
It was good. It was good. I It was more laid back, it was a little different. Um Generally we do my family's house. We might try to do my husband's parents' house. Um we did do my parents still. It just wasn't on Christmas Day. So literally Christmas Day was different. We had nowhere to go.
Okay.
Um yeah. I would say overall it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did kind of make me question why I decorated if nobody was gonna come see my house. Like,
For the kids, for the kiddos.
you're right, it's for the kids. I will say this: I'm glad I didn't hang the lights in the window because I would have had to get all new those like 3M clips.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I really don't feel like doing that. So I did it, and I'm glad because I didn't have to show it off, or they didn't want to show it off to anyone because no one came. So
same. My son usually does our outdoor lights, and after we got the tree and everything up, I was like, do we need to increase our electricity bill for our house no one's coming to? I was like, we don't. And so we didn't do outside lights this year. But what I did do is I let them like light the tree longer. So usually I only turn on at night, but some days it was literally on 24/7.
Yeah.
Like at school, it probably balances out for what we typically do, during a traditional Christmas. So
Yeah, that is something we had to monitor this year because they were both of age to know how to turn on the lights and stuff.
Okay.
So It was you can so they each had their own little mini tree. Like you can
Yeah,
have a tree, you can't have the lights on all day on the tree. So that was an adjustment for them.
gotcha. No, that makes sense. And like I said, we didn't do the mini trees this year. We just did the one major tree, and like you said, both of them are definitely of age. So actually, some days I would be like, okay, well, go turn the tree off. It's been on long enough. But
Right.
it varied. It wasn't like a, but I wasn't. I guess you would say I wasn't as worried about it because of the fact that we don't have outside lights. So and we're using more electricity more than ever anyway because we're always home. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Sorry, I know y'all just saw me talking but not talking, but mom duties had to kick in real quick. So,
Understood. Yeah.
um,
I was gonna say, want me to go over like some of my highlights for the
yeah,
holiday?
go ahead, and start us off.
All right. So let's see. I tried to put them in order. Look, guys, I did notes this year. We'll
See,
see how long that's last
uh,
for. So I would say, okay, in order, it was the first thing was keeping with the matching PJs tradition. So our family started a tradition about 3 years ago now, called Pancakes and PJs, and it usually takes place maybe like a week after Christmas. And what it is, we all wear pajamas. We make a huge breakfast slash brunch spread, and we have it at someone's house. And it's usually 20 plus people. It's like my husband's family, my family. Last year we had like one or two friends, but usually it literally is just family because it's enough between the two. And we wear matching pajamas. So, that was something that we've been doing for the last 3 years. And, the kids have gotten used to it. They look forward to it. So I was happy that we still were able to keep with the pancakes and PJs, matching family pajamas, although we didn't have pancakes and PJs. So what we did instead was we put them on Christmas Eve night, and then we woke up in the morning, we opened all our gifts in our matching PJs, and actually we kept them on all day. So it was great.
nice.
Then another highlight, I already spoke about it briefly, was the time off from work. This is probably the most time I've taken off from this job. I just made a year December 9th. So, of course, you don't take that much time off your first year anyway. But this is the most time I had off. And even the time that I was not off during the holidays, everybody else was. So it felt like I was off. It was nice and, quiet and not as active as it usually is. We did a outdoor social distancing gift exchange with my mom, my sister, and my cousin. So that was nice. Like, I'm not a fan of the cold. So, of course, that part I could have done without. But it was nice for us still to be able to get together and, be able to see the kids' expression for at least one gift that they opened. Because that's what we did. We all opened one gift at least. And then we went home and, shared pictures and videos of everything else everyone opened. And, so that you could see what their expressions was and what fit, what didn't fit, so on and so forth. So that was really nice, because it's funny. Usually we have so many gifts when we, gather at someone's house that it's inevitable that either someone leaves a gift or loses a gift because it's just so many. Like,
Yeah.
crazy. We usually have like a bedroom just full of gifts, like stacked up high. It's insane. So it was nice not to have to go through that this year. I will say that. To just be able to pull out a couple.
How did you designate whose house y'all were going to go to? So I'm assuming you went to like someone's lawn or backyard.
We went to my mom's house because my mom's house is usually the house we go to. So before my aunt moved back to Tennessee, her house was the house that we went to. And then once she moved back to Tennessee, for the most part, it's usually my mom's house. Like, we've had it at my house, we've had it at my sister's house, but more likely than not, it's at my mom's house. So we just decided to stick with that tradition and go to her house. So it was nice. We met like in the afternoon. I think it was the Sunday after Christmas. So yeah. So if Christmas was Friday, we met that Sunday, did the gift exchange, and went on our way. So that was nice. Also this year, something I did that was the first. I've never done this in my entire life. I cooked dinner on Christmas Day.
Wow.
I've never done it. We always go to someone's house, or we always go to multiple houses. So we usually do someone in Carlos's family, my husband. We usually do someone in his family early in the day after we open our gifts here. And then later in the day, we go to my mom, or like I said, whatever the designated Christmas house is for that year. So I've never cooked Christmas dinner. I've done Christmas breakfast a million times, but never Christmas dinner. And it was nice. It really was nice.
What'd you cook?
I cooked a meatless turkey loaf for me, a ham for hubby and my daughter, chicken for my son. My son doesn't eat pork because my house is crazy. Then we had mashed potatoes, collard greens, rolls, mac and cheese. I did not cook that. My brother-in-law cooked it, and I just had to bake it. Well, he prepped it and I just had to bake it. And then I made a corn casserole. So it was nice. They ate everything and went back for seconds. So kudos to me.
Kudos to you. That's a lot of cooking.
It was kind of weird because I had never done it for, I cooked. Cooking is not an issue, but just cooking on Christmas Day, I was like, I'm tired. I don't really feel like doing this, but I did. And like I said, it was nice. We all sat down at the table, ate together, talked about the day, what we enjoyed, and, reflected on the year. So it was nice. It was nice.
I don't even remember if we ate dinner on Christmas Day. But I do know is I definitely ordered IHOP for that Christmas breakfast. Had that delivered. So
I had planned on cooking breakfast because I'm used to cooking breakfast on Christmas morning. Mm-hmm. But we actually went to my brother-in-law's house, to pick up the mac and cheese, and also to see my nephew because it was his first. It's his first Christmas, and I refused to miss that. So
that's cute.
Yeah. So we went and did that. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'll do this one last because this one involves us both. We did a weight loss challenge for the month of December with Slim Thick Meals by Nisha, and I actually won. So that was definitely a highlight. Just able to maintain this weight loss and exercising throughout the holidays it was difficult because I had wine a couple places I went, or I didn't even go many places, but a couple Zoom events, so on and so forth. So it was like, I'm not about to get this. And Stephanie was on my tail the entire time. She actually was ahead of me most of the time. So I don't typically.
Near the end, they was already baked, so
Yeah, my sister was a part of it, and she definitely tried to sabotage me with those cookies. When I saw her on that Sunday when we exchanged gifts, she gave me a whole bag of cookies and brownies, and I was like, okay, see what we're doing here. I see what's happening here.
Right.
So, and then the last thing, which was exciting, another first for me, is thanks to Stephanie. She told me about the Merriweather Post Pavilion, the fireworks show. So I love fireworks. Like it's one of my things. And so we were able to go, and instead of driving around Merriweather Post Pavilion, you were able to walk around and see the fireworks. So they had it segmented by different times, like hour slots for social distancing purposes. But you were able to go, and then they did a countdown and then an amazing fireworks show. And it was nice. It was nice. Even my husband and my son, who were like, you always drag us to this stuff. Why are we here? As soon as the fireworks started, they were like, I was like, yeah, that's why we're here. For this moment. That is why we're here. So,
what do they call it? The midnight on the hour fireworks display at Symphony of Lights. So that's what you're walking through. You're walking through Symphony of Lights. If you are from Maryland, I guarantee you've heard of it, whether you've been to it or not. But this year they did only 3 dates that you could walk through it. They usually do one at the beginning of its opening, like right after Thanksgiving. Then they have like a pet friendly one, so all the people with dogs come. And then they do the midnight on the hour, as they called it this year. Mm-hmm. So it was like 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to 9. Because I think your show was 9.
My show was 8. So the last show was 9 because everything had to be closed by 10.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So like we went. My family went with my aunt and her goddaughter at, I think we called the 7 o'clock show.
I thought you guys did the 6. I thought you did the 6:40.
Our time to get in was 6:40, which meant we called 7 o'clock.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna guess maybe they were going off on the half hour. I don't know because I was confused. Like, so some people got here at 6:10 to just stay all for 50 minutes.
Yeah, I think the way it worked, like for us, like our slot was 8:20, but you could see when we were pulling up around like 8:15, everyone was leaving out. So they did the show, the fireworks show at 8. Now, whether you got there at 8:20 or 8:50, you didn't see fireworks again until 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because that's what I thought. But then the way like the crowds were moving, I'm like, I don't think I know what's really happening, but that's fine.
I think the way they had it initially was like the slots were like, let's say 8:10, 8:20, 8:30. And I think they were selling out so fast, especially with the earlier times. That's when they added those later slots, like 8:40, 8:50, because I guess they figured, I mean, you can still come in. You just you won't have as much time to walk around.
I mean, I love it because I literally live within walking distance. Like, if I felt like it, I could walk.
Definitely.
Um, so I enjoy anything where I don't have to go that far, or if I know, if I'm going to hit a little traffic, the traffic's going to take me to my house, so it's fine.
Exactly.
Um, I say what I like. We did that last year for the first time with another group out of Howard County called Howard County Dads.
Mm-hmm.
They had invited my husband because he's a member of that, and I had never seen before. It's just something about walking through them versus driving through them.
Yeah.
It's just like it takes you back. It's very nostalgic because you feel like a child again. Because one, these things are huge, and I don't think you recognize how big these installations are when you're driving through it.
Mm-mm.
Plus, when you're driving, I always feel obligated to not make the car behind me wait, whether or not they are waiting. I just feel like they are. So, although this time I drove through 2 times, that second time I know that car was mad at me because it's like, I'm sorry, I need to park and I need to make sure there's no pink lights on this thing because I'm trying to win some tickets.
Exactly. Plus, I paid for this experience, so I'm going to enjoy it. Like for me, I've never driven through except for when I rode through with you. What was that? Like a week before when we did the video, when we did our holiday video. That was my first time riding through, and I told my family, I was like, I'm so glad Stephanie was driving because there's no way with my love for lights and there's no way I would crash because I was like, oh my gosh, look. So when we got to actually walk in, and that was the other thing I enjoyed. So when you drive through, you have to turn your station to your radio to a station to hear their background music. Whereas you walk through, they actually have a DJ who was there for the event for the countdown. And so like they were playing great music the whole time. So we were like just dancing around, in the grass. We did not even walk through because by the time we got there, like anybody who knows my husband knows that he's very antisocial. And that's like crowd, even though I won't say it was a crowd, like it was a crowd for him, but it wasn't a crowd. They definitely did a good job of keeping the numbers down, but he just was like, it's lights. And I was like, they're so pretty. But since and my daughter had already seen them and we were the ones who were really excited about it. My son and my husband could care less. I was like, oh, if you guys don't want to see the lights, we can just stay in this area, hold down our spot and enjoy the music. So we danced, bought a couple of little light up things, some cotton candy, and we went about our day. It was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, I was surprised they had the vendors because they were specifically saying there won't be vendors there.
Exactly.
So, because last year they had hot chocolate. I think they had funnel cakes last year because I remember there was a line like they had a funnel cake man there. So they must have
that line. And I would have lost that weight loss challenge because I would eat that whole funnel cake.
Probably the only reason Pat, my husband, was kind of like, yeah, I'll go to it because he probably remembered them funnel cakes from last year. Not realizing they were going to be there, but yeah, it was a good time. We did walk through after just because it was probably my aunt's goddaughter's first time going to it, actually. They're from out of the Baltimore area, so I don't think she's ever been down to it before. But,
wait, are you saying you broke the rules and you stayed after your time? Is that what you're saying?
We were scheduled for 6:40.
Uh-huh.
Now, I know I just said I love it because I was so close, okay? We was still late, girl. We walked in at such a vigorous pace. We were able to get to like where the arches were to stop because boom, fireworks. Like
you didn't tell me that.
Yes. It's not my proudest moment to be late to something that's 2 miles from my house. It's not really something I'm promoting.
It's a sad day when I'm on time for something and you're late for something that's 2 minutes from your house. But go ahead.
I was late to the dinner reservations before, and I was the one that knew where it was located. So, me and time, it's not really a thing. Okay. We don't mesh well, especially not during these COVID times. What's a clock?
Whatever works.
Just watch them. Count my steps. That's all. Okay, count my steps and give me my text messages. I'm not using it to tell time. We don't need that.
Who needs time?
Ain't no Google Meets. I don't need to know the time. But yeah, we did. So we walked around after our time. It's also we went earlier, so there was a bit more of a crowd than I imagine you had when you guys went.
Yeah, it wasn't much when there was even lots of parking, which I found strange. I was like, look at all these parking spots. Okay.
Yeah, so we went like the parking lot was full.
Oh yeah.
Um, but waiting, everybody literally like, oh, fireworks, and they clear out. Like, all right, cool. Well, I don't have to drive anywhere, so we will stay. And I don't said anything to you, but we literally were like the only people there at some point. It was like us, a few workers, and a few random stragglers. Like, but what I thought was most amusing to me was the people that came pulled up with whole wagons full of lawn chairs, blankets, picnic lunches. Like, y'all realize they're doing this every hour. So this is like just a regular 10-minute show.
Coming
Not
in though.
fireworks. It's not real midnight fireworks. And it's cold out here. It was not warm that night. It was
No, it
cold.
was not. No, not at all. My son wore a jean jacket because I forced him to wear a coat. And no, I'm sorry. He wanted to wear his reflection. He has a coat that literally looks like the coats that the people who direct traffic during construction.
Mm-hmm.
He has a coat like that, and he wanted to wear it. And we were like, I mean, go for it. You probably will be approached by quite a few people tonight.
Right.
So luckily, he did not wear it because as soon as we drove in, the first thing we saw was a man with, and I was like, oh look, there's your twin. And he was like, that's not funny. So long story short, he wore his jean jacket that has like fur in it,
Mm-hmm.
and like 10 minutes in, he was like, it's cold out here. I was like, that typically happens when you wear jean jackets with hoodies and 30-degree weather. It makes sense. I understand why you're cold. I'm not cold, but I can understand why you're cold. Right. But it's funny that you're laughing at those people because I wanted to be one of those people. And the only reason that I was not one of those people is because I wanted to be on time more than I wanted to be one of those people. So I was like, well, I know I have one chair. Let's get some blankets and then we can get a pillow or two and this, that, and the third. And my husband was like, look, if you're going to do all that, I'm not going. I was like, oh.
But we left.
At least one chair. He was like, no, you do not need a chair. He was like, I said, but we'll be there for 40 minutes. He's like, and you can stand for 40 minutes. I was like, okay.
We left. It was probably about 15 minutes till the next fireworks show. I'm like, all right, guys, we didn't pay for 2 shows, so we do gotta leave. And I'm watching, these people pulling these wagons, and like the kids aren't even in the wagons.
No.
They're carrying the kids, or they're walking, and I'm like, y'all gonna be real mad because by the time you get in there, that's at least 5 minutes there. And are you gonna walk through? Like,
well, and that's what happened. I saw it was a family in front of us, so they had actually walked through, and they just initially put their blanket, and then maybe let's say 10 minutes before the fireworks, they did this whole elaborate setup with the fold up chairs and a little table in between, and just it was very elaborate. It was nice, but very elaborate. And then after the fireworks show was over, the husband was like, well, that was a lot of work. And I just bust out laughing because I was like, it was a lot of work, sir. That you literally sat in those chairs for 10 minutes.
Oh no.
You should listen to my husband. You can stand.
Listen, that's how Columbia does though. We go, oh, there's something over there, Merriweather or Symphony Woods. And we treat everything like it's wild in the woods. We about to be out here all day.
Even though you were there for 20. And that was the other thing. Even if your time slot, let's say you got there for the 6:20 slot or whatever the case may be, you still had to walk in there. Like, it wasn't like you park your car and you're there. There was still a good, like, 5-10 minute walk to get there and to get back to your vehicle. So it definitely took away from the time. But it's their fault. On the website, they encourage you to bring chairs and blankets. And then they said there would be no vendors. So, it was just a lot of misinformation. But still a wonderful event. I had a great time. Now that I know about it, definitely on my to-do list for 2021.
So fingers crossed it's still there next year because there was there's Drama Girl. They almost shut that whole thing down.
I would be very upset because I was like a kid.
There was legal action, and thankfully the judges had some Christmas cheer, I guess, because they tried to put a kaput to that whole scenario.
Never mind.
Outside of that, what we did holiday-wise here, we had Christmas Eve dinner at my mother's house.
Okay.
Me and the kids, because my husband was at work that day, and did Christmas presents here, just our family. I will say, I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna have a real mommy moment real quick. Children, go ahead, take it to your bedrooms. Nope, go ahead, take it. Thank you. Sorry, y'all. That's what happens when you go live.
Mom in real life.
You know, they tell them turn off the TV, so they said, "Let's be the TV."
Exactly. The TV's not loud enough, so we will be loud enough.
Right. Um,
Life of kids.
oh, so Christmas Day. So I was proud of myself. This year, I actually had all the presents wrapped before Christmas Eve. Did I?
Oh wow.
No. Was that, see? So maybe that was wishful thinking. I don't know. I may or may not have. I don't know. I feel like I really strive to, so it might have been done.
Okay.
Regardless, we were extremely tired Christmas Day.
Same here.
Which makes me think I really didn't have them done. Probably didn't have them done. But they were wrapped before the children were up. So that is actually still an accomplishment compared to last year.
Wait, how does that work? Let's just digress. Let's just 2-minute digression. I need to understand how that works.
Well, you were the only one rapping.
Okay.
And you were also one whose mind is most active in the evenings. It's very difficult to stay on task Christmas Eve with just wrapping gifts because it's a little bit too dull for your insomnia-driven mind of thoughts.
So then what happens on Christmas Day? Is there
Oh, they already know, because we've already established this. You don't get to leave your room unless it's to use a toilet.
Oh, okay.
Once we put you to bed on Christmas Eve.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't. If you leave the room, all the Christmas presents leave from under the tree.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know where mommy might be. I might be asleep on the couch, half wrapped. I might have everything put away. You want to maintain your Christmas joy? Just stay in your room.
Stay in your room. It's funny because I definitely had my doing the most moment this year because I was like, well, I'm home. I can make it. I want to wrap everything in the same wrapping for the kids. I bought like wrapping paper that was just for them, which I normally don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, I probably didn't wrap anything until like, I think I wrapped like 3 things, maybe like 3 days before, but everything else was wrapped like literally 3 a.m. Christmas Day. But then I was like scrambling to to put the paper away, like to leave out the other paper that I wrapped other people's gifts, but the Santa gifts to, and my son, he's 17. He was like, Mom, what are you doing? When he saw me running around and doing everything. And I was like, do you want Santa? He was like, are you serious right now? I was like, yes, I'm very serious. Go back in your room. I got this. Bye.
Right.
my husband literally was, this year, he was like, I'm not wrapping anything. And I was like, we have to wrap it for them. He's like, if you don't lay them gifts out there, I was like, no, we have to. So I took it upon myself to wrap everything for them and for him as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I didn't wrap. I had a big gift for my husband. I didn't wrap it. I barely put a big bow on it. I only did that because it was already laying out. Like, there you go.
I got to see that gift. Quite entertaining. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm wondering if next year it's just everything gets thrown in a bag. And there may or may not be tissue paper in that bag.
Well, see, my plan is once, like, she's 7. So I figure, like, once she gets, like, 9, 10-ish, then I'm not wrapping anymore. Come downstairs. Here they are. Go for it. Like, it's all about the magic of Christmas right now for her. But like I said, my son, he was excited because, full disclosure, this is probably like his first Christmas in 4 years, thanks to his grades. So he was really excited and he was giddy. And that was the other reason I was so passionate about wrapping the gifts this year and making an experience because, the last couple of years, it's like, you might have one thing under there, bro. We might have put you a bone and put 2 things under there, but you already know what this is.
Hope there's some new pens in your stocking.
Yeah, exactly. Like we might have put like something in you might have had like maybe 2 things to unwrap and like 1 thing in your stocking. And then, our family that doesn't listen, got you a little something, but not what they would have gotten. So he was just like, when I tell you he was giddy on Christmas, he was like so excited. And we got him an Xbox. So when he was able to, hold on, I'll get that. When he opened that, like his expression was priceless. And I was like, see, it was worth it. So worth it. Wrap stuff in tissue paper if you want to be fancy.
That's an interesting idea. I feel like that'd be more difficult.
I think that's harder, right? Well, she said be fancy, so yeah, I can't.
I know, but you know what? Dollar Tree sells tissue paper in the 50-pack for $1. So
they sure do. They sure do. But this year, because I'm all about a bag. Because I was like, even if I couldn't wrap some of the things, I was like, if I can get a bag that coordinates with the color that I bought. But they barely had any bags this year. Like they barely had any Christmas bags. They barely had. I couldn't find any name tags, and I was like, oh, so y'all we're not doing Christmas. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think I got my bags this year at Big Lots. So they had
okay.
12 pack for I don't know $6 or something. But yeah, I didn't find any bags at Dollar Tree. But yeah. So I guess in conclusion, my Christmas was very low key. We watched the kids open the gifts. We didn't let them open the gifts till about 9:30 when we both got out of bed. Opened, food arrived, we ate. Me and my husband went to sleep. Woke up at 3 p.m.
That's a nice day.
They're toys. That's they were fine.
That's a nice day.
We're not up.
Look, if we did not go to breakfast and to pick up the mac and cheese and to see my nephew, that's what I would have. We were exhausted, to be clear. So, like I said, by the time we got home, I was like, I still have to cook. God. And like they were all in, their Christmas glory, because then they had gotten gifts over there too. So I was just like, fine. So that was the thing, because again, I am used to kind of just once we get through the big push in the morning, the rest of the day is relax. Well, driving around, but relaxing wherever I go. Someone else is hosting, so that was different. But again, it was It was different but rewarding. Like it was nice I provided a meal for my family on Christmas Day, so that was nice.
Yeah. That is nice.
And then the last highlight before we move on to the next subject was the ugly sweater party, the virtual ugly sweater party. It was the first Doing the Most and Then Some event. We had 13? We had 13 registered, and we had 5 attend, which was really nice.
I feel like we
had, was it 6?
Between 5 and 7. Yeah, I want to say maybe it was 6.
Okay, it might have been. I think you're right. It was 6. It was 6. I'm sorry. We had 6 attend, and we gave away a cash prize of $50 to our ultimate prize winner. So we did scavenger hunt. We had an outfit change, which we were not expecting.
Outfit changes.
We had a drinking game. We used Kahoot, which was really fun. We incorporated Kahoot for a couple of games, like some trivia games, and then we also did song association, which everyone did pretty good. Better than I expected. A lot better than another virtual event I had attended earlier in the year.
Giving. I still don't think there's a Christmas song with the word giving in it.
I was supposed to read. I was supposed to.
You're supposed to do a little homework. Yeah, a little homework.
Write that down in my notes.
Well, yeah, if anybody knows of a Christmas song with the word, it was just giving, right?
Yeah, it was giving. Yeah,
it was just giving in it as the actual lyric. Please let us know, because that almost ended the game.
It did. I think everyone passed, skipped, or no one answered it. Everyone's like, no, don't worry about it. I won't take the points. Because what we did was you got points towards the grand prize for as much participation that you did. So it was really good. It was really interactive. I felt like, we also danced in the beginning.
Yes.
Mariah Carey.
The whole dance break at the intro.
So mad we didn't record that.
I don't know if I'm so much mad that we did.
It's probably for the best, because I know I was struggling. But it was fun. It was fun. It was good, relaxing family fun. I know that my daughter joined in for a little bit, and I know your kids joined in as well. So it was a good time. Definitely something I would do again. I would
say the whole room was a bit more competitive than I expected them to be.
Oh, yeah.
Which I was here for it. I was just like, I hope we really got these cash and prizes. Otherwise,
they came for the cash, but that was good. I felt like, I've gone to a lot of ugly sweater parties, and quite frankly, this party actually probably had more. The party we had virtually probably had more interaction than a lot of the ones that I actually go to in person. So, I guess that competition really worked. Stirred the pot.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope anyone that attended did. And I'm excited to see what we can do next.
Exactly. If you guys have any suggestions for other events or things you'd like to see us do outside of the podcast, definitely let us know.
We might need an inauguration. No, don't do that.
See, look what you do. See, look what you do. I promise you don't want to do that to yourself.
Don't do it. Oh. Yes. So, moving right along with the schedule here. Let's get into our 2021 resolutions, goals, and plans.
Yes, yes. We'll let you kick this one off. I feel like
Sure.
I hijacked the holiday recap, so
Oh, you're fine. I feel like you have more holiday cheer than I because I'll just be stressed. So that was fine. I do want to say, doing that video with you, that was one of the highlights for the holiday thing. That was
a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun, and honestly, passerbys were like slightly impressed.
They were definitely impressed. We actually got an idea for a possible business venture from being out there, so that was nice. Here's another funny fact.
Don't talk about it. We gotta keep that.
No, I'm not. Look now, look, you know me better than that. Here's another funny fact for you guys. We actually took quite a few pictures, like you might as well say a whole photo shoot, and didn't post any of those pictures. So maybe we'll find a way to repurpose those.
Yeah,
I was going through my phone the other day, and I said, we didn't post not now one.
No.
Or even half of any of these pictures that we took.
No.
Oh, well. Doing the most expensive.
But you know what we did do? We threw them firework videos out there that none of y'all asked for because y'all already know what fireworks like. But 2021 resolutions, goals, and plans. So I decided to come up with a word for my 2021, and it is extra.
Oh, okay. With the shirt, I feel like I'm behind. Let me find me something to get my word on.
Now, extra. Just going above and beyond in all aspects. So, extra for me is having a planner, but then using it. So, extra could be whatever it needs to be for you. Extra for me as well is
you're killing
me. Taking the next step in a lot of things. Like, I'm not very outgoing, just because I have my own doubts that I let over me, but just being more cheerfully stepping out of my comfort zone rather than like doing it with we gotta do a deep sigh. No, just doing it. For me, extra when it comes to my businesses I run, when I say one number, add 200 to it because I need to be charging that other number than what I said because I know my mindset. So asking for that extra, yeah, that's something I need to be doing in 2021.
Absolutely.
Wearing makeup, like this is not my normal look, but I'm gonna make sure I get up every day and put a real face on because I'm more likely to be productive if I have a face on than when I don't have a face on.
That makes sense. It's a cute face, by the way. It's a cute face. You did that, boo. Did that.
It's a pale face. It's a summer's over face.
You're in your winter color. It's all right. You're in your winter color.
My winter color is Snow White. Apparently, that is my winter color. But yes, we're gonna work with that winter color. But yeah, I think that's just kind of what I want to go with. Now, that doesn't mean I can't adjust it because, full disclosure, we decided extra was our theme about 10 minutes before the podcast started tonight.
Yay.
I still have those same goals, but now I have a driving theme. So when I attempt to make my vision board, we'll have words.
When you make your vision board, take out your vision board.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
We'll just throw some graphics on this and be like, that was her vision board. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm done with you. I promise y'all I'm done with Stephanie. You guys can get some of our behind the scenes conversations the last couple of weeks. You would be done with her too. But it's all right. It's all right.
Part of the whole extra theme I'm going with is also knowing when to not do more, which is in theme with our podcast here. We're doing too much and then some. I literally say and then some on a regular in my daily life because I am trying to do too much sometimes. So if I'm paring down the things I'm doing so I can really focus on 1 or 2, 3 things, that I could do successfully, giving it that extra attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need to be doing in 2021. So, yeah, there are some projects or things that were going to be projects that I'm stepping away from so that I can give the extra attention and love to the things that are better geared for me right now.
I love that. I love that.
So I'm excited to see where that goes. I mentioned the planners, y'all. I buy planners for the aestheticness of it, not for the functionality. And not to get too far down this road because we've got some stuff coming up to share that'll touch on this a bit more. But yeah, I like pretty things.
Mm-hmm.
So I buy a lot of functional pretty things because I'm being mindful. However, I don't use the functionality of the things. So we're going to focus on that too. But outside of that for 2021, goals, resolution plans, I mean, weight loss is something I'm focusing on. It is a goal.
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, just past year, I didn't go up to, so I guess 2 years now I've been working on losing weight. COVID saw me get kind of close to that start, get back to that start number, but we really pushed this last quarter, 2020, to get it under control, and we're focusing on that continuing. Part of that is doing now, what is this? I don't know. Doctor's warning, Surgeon General warning. This is what I'm doing and myself alone. Do not take my words and run with it. I'm not your doctor.
It is. Consult with your physician.
Consult with your physician. Oh, disclosure. That was the word I was looking for. That is the disclosure for my next statements. I am doing a 21-day water fast, which means
water only.
21 days. I intake water only. Now, I don't recommend this for anyone. Not that it's bad or terrible. Like, I literally am actually not hungry. I realize when I am tempted to eat something, it's just because I'm bored or because I have to be in the kitchen cooking for other people, and it's just here, and it's just something you would normally do. As a busy mom, you take it in when you can get it in. So, yeah, it's not that I've had any issues with it. I haven't had any headaches. And he's like, "Oh, are you tired?" Actually, I've done more projects since I've been doing nothing but drinking water. So, and have I lost weight? Yes. But again, disclosure, talk to your doctor. They're going to tell you no. You should listen to your doctor. I just didn't go to my doctor because my husband is EMT. So I'm hoping he'll want to save me if I do put myself in some sort of issue.
He'll see the warning signs. But I think you'll be fine. That's the girl who's not a doctor.
Since the girl is yeah, there will be warning signs. So I don't know. I've made the ones I think can save me in my life aware. So
look, full disclosure, I get most of my medical advice from Pinterest.
I will say this because I've been doing keto pretty strong for a month now. Where I think a lot of danger comes from is shocking your system. My system been shocked. It's been shocked. So it's not going to process it the same. It's already looking at pooling my fats to feed itself. So
correct.
I'm not trying to train it something new with this. But okay. Nobody asked me to defend my position, but I felt the need to do that. We'll continue. What are your resolutions, goals, and plans, Brittany?
Okay, so I just want to add that you missed one extra. The extra thing that you will have in 2021 is me holding you accountable.
Yes.
Yes. You didn't have that in the past. I can be quite a nag, and I'm looking forward to doing it when it comes to you.
Yeah. It's literally my therapist was like, "So you added the podcast?" I'm like, yeah, but I have a co-host. Oh, good. So someone's there to hold you accountable. I'm like, yeah. I'm not put her on the payroll too. Dang, I'm already paying you.
Yeah, I definitely text Stephanie quite often at like 9 a.m. in the morning, and she's like, yeah, "Okay, give me a minute. I'll get back to you." It's like, just whenever you're ready. But here it is. Here it is. We're moving forward.
So
So,
yeah.
similar to Stephanie, I maybe like 2, 3 years ago, I stopped with the rest. I was never a big resolution person anyway, but my sister introduced me to the intent, the word of intent for the year. And I pretty much started that when I started doing my Modern Mom on the Move conferences. I always had a theme anyway. And then I think after the second year, I moved to a word. So this year's word of intent is manifest. I am
Strong
working on,
word.
yes, because I'm working on being proactive towards my goals and really manifesting them, like speaking them into existence. So last year's word was unapologetic because I needed to get out of my own way and stop, I guess, second guessing myself all the time and work on my confidence. So I was able to do a lot of that, a lot of work around that. And then um what was the year before that? Oh, the year before that was abundance. So
Mm.
this, definitely is for me. It's just a word for me to focus on and something for me to be very mindful of. And so this year's word is manifest. Like I'm really working towards not procrastinating. I've learned that I have blocked so many of my blessings by
Mm.
procrastinating. Not necessarily because they don't happen, but I don't feel like they are properly executed because of the fact that I procrastinate. So I mentally prepare for everything. It's all
Mhm.
in here. But oftentimes I don't take the time to like write down the ideas or, if I was to execute it earlier instead of waiting, instead of keeping everything here and then like the week before, like, hey, Stephanie, what do you think about XYZ? And it's like, well, when you
Right.
thought about that 3 months ago, if you would have reached out to Stephanie, imagine how much greater it could have been. So it's things like that that I want to get away from, both professionally and personally, when it comes to procrastinating. And then also, elevating the conference. So for my business, Modern Mom on the Move, I always do a annual conference. That's why I tell you be careful of saying inaugural because that's what happened. Someone named my conference the inaugural conference the first time I had it. I did not. They did, and ta-da! They were moving over into the planning of the fifth year. So just be clear, be mindful of things that you say because you can definitely speak them into existence. So I just really want to elevate the conference. Last year was the first year doing it virtually, and I'm assuming because this year I will be doing it virtually as well. Whereas last year I had to pivot at the last minute because I did think COVID would be over by the time that I had postponed it to. I postponed it to September, and I thought
Mhm.
by then we'd be back into the normal and I could do, all the planning because I was proactive last year, but again, COVID felt differently. So this year, now that I know that it's going to be virtual, I can have it the same time of year that I always have it, which is May, and I
Mhm.
can start planning now. So I just want to really elevate. I have some really exciting ideas, but they're ideas that require planning and time. So yes, I will be more proactive with that. I was saying when I did the recap for the holiday that I won the weight loss challenge. So between was it November? No, that was October. So between October and December of 2020, I actually lost 20 pounds. And so
Very
now that
nice.
I've lost the 20 pounds, my goal is to just really maintain that weight loss. I don't really want to lose anymore. I don't want to look weird. Like I look back at pictures of when I was like a size 0, my face kind of looked a little skinny. I like a little meat on my bones. So my goal this year is to actually tone. So to like tone my stomach, get it flat again, like maybe actually see some abs. And to lift my booty. I have a low butt. So those are the things I'll be proactively working on. So I'll still like mostly I did a lot of cardio in 2020 and I'll still be doing that, but I'll be doing more targeted cardio because I find that that is the type of exercise that holds my attention. I'm not a, reps girl. That's just not me. So I like trying different exercises. So I'll be trying a lot of different exercises to figure out what will target it and, what works, what doesn't work. What else? Oh, expanding my apparel line. So last year I launched for Modern Mama to Move athleisure line of,
Mhm.
I guess you would say interchangeable items, kind of like garantables for adults or for moms that are stylish but still very comfortable. And so I want to expand that, to have some offerings because last year was a two-piece set that was shorts and a shirt. So I want to offer some more winter and fall, like winter, and then also when we go into the spring and the summer, some more items and accessories as well. So that's something that's definitely in the works and should be released very, very soon. So excited about that. And then last but definitely not least, expanding the two brands that I'm behind and that, I'm a part of. So doing the most and then some. I definitely want this brand to expand because I think what we're doing is amazing. Like, and I think it's, it's needed. And I know everyone has a podcast, but everyone's not Brittany and everyone's not Stephanie. So we're going to take this thing to the next level. And then also the Modern Mom on the Move brand. Like, I was just so amazed at how much growth the company had in 1 year and last year. And, with that being COVID. So it's like, wow, to have that much growth in 2020, imagine what I can do in 2021 if I stop procrastinating, start planning, and get things in order. So Stephanie actually gave me a happy planner for Christmas. That was my gift from Stephanie. This is my first happy planner ever. So I'm really excited about it. And I too am going to use it instead of just looking at it.
Yeah. Although right now we're doing a lot of accessorizing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying not to go down that rabbit hole. Like she said, we'll talk more about that, but try not to go down there. And then, so that's one of the tools I'll be using for manifesting my dreams, goals, and aspirations, as well as some new apps. I've added some new apps on my phone, some about like scheduling and management, and other things just about, overall wellness. So I plan on actually utilizing those apps, and some of the ones I already had, quite frankly, utilizing those to help me to manifest my dreams and my goals, so that, this time 2022, I can say I accomplished XYZ in 2021 because I did XYZ. So yeah. I'm really excited about it, and just really staying focused. Like, just, it's so easy for me to get distracted. I am distracted very easily. So I'm just really making sure that I'm focusing on the things that I want to accomplish, and then those other things I can do later, focus on the things that are going to stretch me and grow me. That's the other thing. Like, I'm not a fan of, I know that you have to get uncomfortable to grow. And I did a lot of that last year because I pretty much had to in some situations. But this year I want to proactively do it. Not because I have to, but because I want to. So.
Yeah, I think making measurable goals is key. Because if your overall goal is, lose weight. Right. But like,
for how much?
What is the goal? Is it a measurable goal? Is it an actual goal? So I think with the planners, I think will help us stay on target for that. And like you said, this podcast growing is something I am very excited for. And we have some announcements to just really kind of show you our first steps to take in getting this podcast to the next level. So super, super excited about that. Before we get into those announcements, we got a movie review that we'll see how it goes, because we all watched this movie back on December 17th with our advanced screening passes that DTM and then some secured for the listeners. So it's been almost a month.
Yeah.
It's like 9 days shy of a month since we watched the movie. But it was actually a good movie. So I had full intentions to rewatch it last night, but there's a whole lot going on this week in the news.
Oh my.
I didn't even turn on my TV, even though I stream everything and I didn't have to see anything live. But like, when stuff like that happens, all they want to do is pop up. Oh, you can watch the news here. I don't want to deal with.
I don't want to.
Yeah. So, do you want me to kick it off, or do you want to go ahead and start with your review of Sylvie's Love?
I'll start off because I'll give them just an overview, and then I'll jump into my review. So the movie was called Sylvie's Love. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's produced by Eugene Ash, and it stars Tessa Thompson and Nandi Osamua. So it is about a woman who is working at her father's record store in Harlem in the late 1950s, and she meets an aspiring saxophone player. They fall in love, and the movie pretty much chronicles their love story. So my review, we usually start with numbers, right? So I would give this a 7, I think. It's been a while, but I think I would give it a 7. I'm trying to go back to how I felt. My reviews are definitely based on emotion. And forgive me, guys, my eye is doing something really, really weird. So I'm not crying. The movie did not bring me to tears. But my eyes doing something weird. So we're gonna push through, and then I'm gonna take this contact out. Anywho, so the things I liked about the movie is that it really highlighted black love as well as black success. I really like that, you know, the fact that it spoke to, so the main characters were Sylvie, who was Tessa Thompson, and then Robert, who was played by Nandi Asamoah. And he's actually, for those who don't know, he's an ex-NFL player, and he's also Kerry Washington's husband.
Yes.
Oh, this is horrible, y'all. I'm so sorry. Matter of fact, hold on 2 seconds.
Yeah, so he was the main female lead. Tessa Thompson was the female lead, and he was the male lead. I think I just called him female lead.
Yeah.
But it was, for me, well, let me give you a rank while you're getting that together. I'd say a 7's fair. I think a 7 is fair. I'm going to give it a 7.
Well, was this our first time having the same ranking?
I know. It really is. I say I give it a 7 because mainly this more on the setting than anything.
Okay.
Emotionally, I feel like it wanted to take me there, but it didn't take me there. Yeah, so like, let's see. So they had their little, I guess, their love affair, right? So they met at the little shop. She's already, I don't think she was engaged at that. Maybe she was
engaged. So she
was engaged.
She came
She
from
had a ring, but she was engaged or something.
She came from an affluent family. So her dad owned a record shop, and her mom was actually
affluent, or was it her mother wishes they were affluent?
Maybe that. Maybe that. Yeah, because her dad owned. You're right. Her dad owned the record shop, and her mom taught a. What would you consider that?
What did they call it?
Etiquette class. Yeah, she had a school for etiquette for young women. So
because this
maybe
was
they weren't affluent. Maybe she just was.
So that was what was slightly confusing for me, because it's clearly set in New York, but mom's running an etiquette class, and they definitely were training the girls at the etiquette school for like cotillion.
Correct.
But that is a southern state thing, unless everybody was taking back that.
Hold on, no, it's a southern state thing, but I think cotillions are also it's a class thing also. So I think in the North they probably had it for African Americans of a higher
gotcha
echelon.
They were engaged when they met. Okay.
Yeah, they were engaged because remember the parent, the mom caught her messing around with her.
Yeah, she just didn't like her entertaining that boy's company at all, because she knew he was a doctor in the army or the military at the time. Because I guess that was
it was around the 50s. It says it's set in the 50s and the 60s.
So heavy Vietnam or something.
Girl, look, I don't know.
Or did they just not tell us what war it was? He just at war.
You want me to lie? I could lie, but I'd rather not. But no, remember, it was maybe in the middle, her friend revealed that the reason that she was engaged anyway was because she was messing around with him, and the mom called him. And because I guess he was of a higher echelon as well, they forced him to get engaged, but also they were happy with it because they knew she would be taken care of.
Right. Yeah, so I liked the setting. I love anything set in the 50s. I just love that whole, the clothing, the style, even like the film that you're using, the whole thing like that. It's all very nostalgic, even though I was not alive for doing that. But it feels very nostalgic for me. That I liked a lot. Honestly, I was impressed with Tessa's character and her acting and the portrayal of the character. She was like, they were giving us some real feminist stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say,
but at the same time ignoring, I guess, the reality of that being able to happen. Because again, she is a Black woman. So
can you speak to that for those who didn't see the movie?
Yeah, I guess so. So in essence, Tessa Thompson's character, though she's getting married, she has bigger dreams than to ever be married, period. She loves film, specifically TV and filming. So she wanted to get into that career. So she got herself a job as a switchboard worker at the TV studio. And then she basically became like a PA, I think.
Yeah,
She was a
yeah, production assistant. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So she got that position, and she was just very good at it, and she enjoyed it. Even at that time, she was working for another black woman who was the producer. Then that lady got moved. I don't know. Let's say she got moved to Rockefeller, and this was the local station.
I thought she got married. I thought that's why she left. She got engaged. Remember?
I thought they were moving her up in the ladder. Either way, she moved on, and she's like, "Oh, we're just gonna give it to the PA," which great for our story plot. That's fine. So now she's, the producer on the show.
Mm-hmm.
What it didn't address, though, is how they were going to have, or how they had an entire black-led production team for this very Julia Child-like persona show. So there's a woman that did a cooking show, and it was very like she was a Julia Child, but like a more gritty New Yorker Julia Child.
Correct.
And though I appreciated the role, is like you're kind of killing. For me, I don't know. Call me a pessimist, call me a realist, whatever. But it's like that wouldn't have been happening.
But see, that's what I appreciated about the movie. That's why I wrote down Black Love and Success, because I think that's part of the reason they picked Harlem, because even though it was not, back then in the 50s and 60s, it wasn't prevalent. That was something that could have happened in Harlem, because, Harlem was, it was filled with a lot of affluent African Americans. They did own brownstones. They did do, while people in the South were probably still sharecroppers at that time. So there was definitely a difference. So that's why I appreciated that they at least had it in a setting where it could have been possible.
Okay.
If the movie was, the setting was Mississippi, I'd be like, come on, stop. No, that's not what happened. No.
Yeah.
Because it almost reminds you of, what's that movie? Is it The Green Book?
Oh yeah.
Remember where he owned a mansion, and when he lived up north, his life was.
But he had to have a white escort to go to the South.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it was that's why I didn't find it too, I guess, far-fetched, because if I'm not really big on history, but if you do, review the history, that was one of the areas where there was a lot of black affluence, and that they were able to accomplish, things again that the African Americans in the South weren't even. I guess privileged to have.
And it wasn't that big a deal, because it wasn't like we were in that studio all the time.
Yeah.
I guess what made it more believable to me is like if any of the camera crew was black, and they weren't. So we can't work a camera, but we can tell this white lady what she can and cannot do in the 50s. That's what you're telling me. So that's where I was like, all right, look, if they just, you went with the cast. You could just threw some more in there.
Not threw some more in there. See what I tell you? I'm done with Stephanie. This is fine.
But outside of that, I did like it. I was shocked that they had the whole her standing up to the husband and being like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna work."
So what Stephanie's referring to is Sylvie. Her father died suddenly. And so once her father died and they were at the funeral, there was a scene where she went and was speaking with her husband. Oh, again, this is spoiler alert. Sylvie got pregnant by Robert before him and his band. Robert was a part of a quartet, and the quartet got a manager, and the manager was able to secure them a gig in Paris. So before he left, he asked Sylvie to go with him, and she said no, because by that time she had found out that she was pregnant, and she didn't essentially want to stop him from living his dream. So that's why I said I really enjoyed the theme of Black love and success. So because she realized this was something that would really elevate his career to the next level, she didn't want to hold him back by letting him know that she was pregnant. So she just stayed back. When her husband came home from the war, or fiance came back from the war, they went ahead and got married, and the husband raised her child with Robert as if it was his own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so fast forward to what Stephanie is talking about. She's talking about the scene. So at the funeral, Sylvie goes into a room, and she's just pretty much away from everyone. He comes in and says, "Well, I think it's kind of rude that we're not, hosting the guests and being out there. And she's just like, life is too short to be unhappy, and I no longer want to be with you.
Basically.
I felt so bad for her.
But yeah, I mean, I like that scene because I feel like a lot of women, especially during that time, would have felt trapped in a marriage, regardless of color. They would have felt, you don't say, I want to leave my husband. They don't care if he's bringing the chick into the house. You don't leave your husband, because
especially since her husband was well off.
Mm-hmm.
He was a military vet. Mm-hmm. He was raising her child that she had with another man. Right. And from what we saw, he wasn't abusive in any way. He was a little verbally abusive, but otherwise, it seemed like he was,
But see, we look at it as being verbally abusive, but it was literally, that's just how men spoke to their women.
Correct.
So in that setting, it wasn't. I do have to give them kudos. Like, they addressed a lot of issues that would have happened during that time. It just seemed, out of the way they addressed everything else so well, for you to then just not have a single Black person on the camera crew just seemed a little weird to me.
Bothered by it, huh?
It did bother me a little bit. I gave it a 7. I have to have a reason I gave it a 7.
Okay.
We almost went there, but then we missed out on some simple hourly wage employees. I don't know what happened there. But because they even addressed, when her husband at the time was getting the new contract, the whole being the token Black person, or the company being accused of not being diverse. So they're like, well, we'll throw him a bone. To him, hey, it's $1 million. They're like, hey, to us, we're just going to put you on the podium anytime someone says, where's your diversity? And
here it is.
And the way they addressed it was like having her side of it, having Sylvie's side, looking at it from the Black point of view, and they even had it from the white point of view.
Correct.
And it wasn't in a confrontational way. It was how it literally would have played out at a dinner. You're like, oh, okay, y'all don't know.
Exactly.
That covert was strong, and they played it well.
They played it very well, because they had what happened was the owner, or I guess someone from the organization that was trying to give the contract to the husband, him and his wife came over to Sylvie and I'm sorry, I cannot remember that man's name, to Sylvie and the husband's house, and they had dinner, and then the wife made a statement about, essentially a covert statement about the husband, and then that's when Sylvie was like, they're just hiring, the only reason they want to give you the contract is because you're Black. And he was like,
and that's okay.
That's okay. It's $1 million contract. Yeah. And then, the white lady, she did go back to say that's not the only reason, he's highly qualified, but that was what she led with. And so it was very clear that was one of the main deciding factors. Maybe not the only factor, but it was definitely one of the major factors is why they were considering or had chosen her husband. So
I think it was well played and produced, because you knew what that really meant. Is the conversation before they left to go there was, oh, we're going to Black people's house.
Exactly.
Like, you already knew. You assumed that's what it was, but her plan was like, oh, got it.
Did she even say something about like how well she kept the house and something like a little out of place like that? I was like, oh.
Which is, it's that covert.
Exactly.
When you come like, oh, okay. So that's not you trying to figure out how to be polite. Maybe you just don't know because you're uppity.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
I felt entitled to make that statement. I felt like I could say what I want to say.
I did wish it made me feel, I wish it had made me feel more warm and gooey. Like, so I watched it with my husband. I thought, we was going to, get into this Harlem Renaissance and this jazz music, woo, woo, woo. Not going to knock you. Going to get the soundtrack, because the music was excellent.
The music was amazing.
However, it was all background music, like low background music. So and it wasn't.
There was like 1 or 2 scenes where it wasn't background, but you're right. I would say the bulk of it was definitely background music. Good music though. Good music.
Very good music. Very good music. We almost forgot about Eva Longoria, girl out here trying to sing her heart out.
Yeah, that's the real reason Stephanie gave it a 7, but I'll let her speak to it.
Yeah, they had Eva Longoria out here trying to play like a Gloria Estefan kind of character almost. It seemed like.
Let Eva
Like,
be great. Let Eva be
I
great.
mean,
She dropped them pounds. She wanted to show y'all that she could still move. Go ahead, Eva.
she dropped
I'm
the
here
pound.
for it.
I haven't seen Eva in a while, but she looked like she had the pounds.
She had dropped, well,
She's
she
older.
had the pounds before in the
Okay.
Dora movie. And so she had definitely dropped the
Okay.
pounds for Sylvie,
Gotcha.
for sure.
Okay. But she is older, so I'm not knocking her on that. She's probably still light years smaller than I will ever be. Look, this body shape is for a certain size, okay?
I respect that.
But yeah, Eva Longoria was in there, and you was like, she kind of came out your left field. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
Eva.
because she was in the earlier scenes, but it was almost like it was always passing by. She would have one or two little, words here or there, and then they built her up throughout it.
Paris, I think, right?
Yeah.
That was like her big moment. And she was spotlight on that moment. And we were trying to figure out why, because there's a whole band here, Eva, a whole band that could have been singing.
But see, I think that was symbolic
of
her husband finally reaching a level of success that he did not feel intimidated by quote unquote allowing his wife to now be in the spotlight.
Because then he cheated on her.
Because he didn't. By that time, he didn't care. She was there holding him down while the quartet had nothing, and while they were growing and practicing in their little apartment. And now that they have this penthouse apartment, and the quartet is blown up, and they have these contracts, and they're touring the world. Now it's okay. Yeah, you can do your thing because I'm out here doing me anyway, living my life.
Okay.
Symbolic.
Symbolic.
You gotta look at the background stories when you watch these movies. You gotta look at them, Stephanie. You gotta dig deep.
All right, I'll give you that one. I just was like, but Eva just wanted to try to sing. That's fine, Eva. But she definitely. That's not. What is the word I'm looking for? What was that woman's name? No, she wasn't that lady. What was that lady's name? Charo.
Okay, stop it.
Her outfits were straight out of Charo's closet, though.
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
All right. In conclusion, I would say, let's wrap this up, because apparently I'm going too tangenty on this one.
Never. That's what the reviews are for us to give our honest and open opinion. And again, that's what they, gave us the tickets for, so that we could review the movie and give our opinions on it.
Yeah, and I do appreciate Allied Global Marketing for hooking us up like that. They didn't have to do it. I appreciate them doing that for us.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Allied Global Marketing. But yeah, we agreed 7 out of 10.
How do you feel about the ending before you wrap it up? Because we didn't speak about the ending. You want me to tell them what happened real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so pretty much after she left the husband, she reconnected with Robert, and then Robert had left. I guess the quartet had dissolved. I don't know. I can't remember what exactly happened with the band, but the band was no longer.
Robert realized the guy whose the band's name was in.
Yeah.
It was typical band situation.
Yeah.
He's making the money, they getting the pennies, and by the time he realized that and wanted to branch out, they were like, "Bro, this is kind of dead." Yeah,
the eras were changing in regards to music. So they were a jazz quartet, and they referenced, I think, Stevie Wonder kind of to show. I think everything was moving from the 50s to like the 60s, maybe even like later.
He went up to Detroit thinking he was gonna get a Motown. He got there, they're like, "Bro, they don't do the music you do anymore."
And besides, the guy who told him that he should come to Detroit to get the he told him he had a job opportunity there for him to be in a band. He got there and come to find out the guy was a janitor. So he told Sylvie, "Hey, I'm going to Detroit to get everything together. So once I get everything together, you and our daughter, you guys come and we'll relocate." And Sylvie was willing to take an entry-level job in Detroit, to be with the love of her life. Long story short, he went to Detroit, found out there was nothing there for him. It kind of was a dagger to his pride, and he came back. And because what it was he did the same way she did not want him to give up his dreams for the child, he didn't want her to give up her dreams for, pretty much a dead end opportunity for him. So instead of just saying that to him the same way she didn't say, hey, I have your baby, or I'm pregnant with your child, he didn't say anything. Instead, he just broke up with her and said he couldn't be with her anymore, went back to Detroit and started working in a car factory.
Mm-hmm.
And so she all this time was thinking that he was this big time music. He went there and, blew up in music and just, left her and her daughter behind. And then she went to DC to visit her cousin and ran into Eva Longoria's character. And that's when she informed them they were trying to get the band back together, but they couldn't get Robert because Robert couldn't get off work. And she said, what do you mean get off work? She informed her that he was working at the plant in Detroit. So in that moment, she realized what he had done essentially was very similar to what she had done for him. And she ended up going to Detroit and professing her love to him. And they lived happily ever after.
Did they? Because it looked like they just got lunch on his lunch break.
But remember, then they were at the beach.
Did they go to? Oh,
you didn't watch it.
At that point, I have a problem with your male ego getting in the way.
But think about it. It wasn't his male ego. It was the same thing that stopped her from saying, I'm with child. Right? Was that her ego?
My interpretation of her not telling him is different than yours.
What's your interpretation?
My interpretation was homegirl knew or was told by her mother, we not doing that because homeboy's going to come back home and do the right thing. That's how I interpreted it. The doctor.
I'll be honest, I was shocked that the doctor took the way they were talking about the doctor. I was shocked that he actually, raised the daughter as his own, because the way she was talking, it was like he was this prize to be won. And he even said, he had he could have had any woman he wanted, and he chose Sylvie because he loved her, and that's why he decided to raise her daughter. So, I don't know, like.
That's how I interpreted that. You interpreted the other way. I'm like, oh, I guess that makes more sense for the whole Sylvie's Love being the title. But like, I was like, oh, her mama said, what we're not doing is skipping off the parents.
But it probably was a combination, though. It probably was a combination, quite frankly. Because her mother made it very clear that she felt like Robert was beneath her anyway. So it was one of those things that even if your fiance is not going to take care of the child, there's no way, I want you to claim this man and be with this man. Like that's right. Not what I want. We'll find someone else. I'll raise the baby.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, two little known facts. Well, not little known facts. Two, I guess, things about the movie. Say his name. I don't know how to say it.
Oh, Rajon Page.
There you go. The lead in Bridgerton, for anyone who's currently watching Bridgerton, he was also in Sylvie's Love. He played one of the band members, and he was like Robert's, I guess you would say, wingman.
Yes. Which I have watched the whole Bridgerton series already, waiting on season 2. Did not know that. Found that off the internet.
I feel like they never showed his face though, because
that's what I was gonna say. Like, literally, didn't see a front photo of that man the whole movie of Sylvie's Love, apparently, because I'm pretty sure I would have remembered just a light-skinned guy. Period. In the band.
Maybe Nandi was just that captivating that we didn't notice.
Maybe
Rajon. Yeah, maybe he was just that captivating. He was that good of an actor that we didn't notice Rajon. Who knows?
Or maybe he was playing trombone and his face was blocked the whole time.
I quit.
What is the other nugget of interesting information?
The other nugget was that MC Lyte was in the movie.
Yes, but do we know who?
We did not figure out who MC Lyte was, what her role was. Like, we know her name, but we're leaving it to you guys. If you know or remember MC Lyte in the movie, let us know. Drop a comment.
Yeah, someone please, because I'm like,
yeah.
There are only a handful of characters of note. So
should I tell them her name? Does that help?
What was the name?
Mickey.
Rings
not even almost a bell.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
She wasn't the one with the bad blonde wig the whole time, was she?
No.
You're not trying to get with him? Okay. That's the only other female of note I remember the whole movie.
It's crazy because that actress, her picture on IMDb, I guess they took it from another movie, and she literally looks like a crackhead. I was like, why? Where's her headshot?
Wow.
I digress.
Yeah. So yeah, if anyone knows or can figure out, let us know, because maybe I missed a whole important part of the movie.
I just can't think of like where she would have.
You're saying. That's what I just said. Wasn't that lady? That's the first thing I thought. Maybe it was her because there was no other woman I saw in the whole movie, and I don't know what that lady's name was. Did she have a name?
She did. It wasn't Mickey. I don't think.
I don't know. It might have been Mickey.
It wasn't. The lady who played the girlfriend was. I mean the other chick was let me tell you her name. Hold on.
I don't know. But, oh wait, hold on.
Her name was Connie Raquel Horsford. That was her.
So was Mickey the producer that Sylvie eventually replaced?
No, that was she was one of the top actresses on here. Her name is no, that's not her. Ryan Michelle Baith.
Okay. If you'll say so.
Apparently she's a big deal too but I don't know who she is. She also plays in No Thanks. She also plays in Boston Legal, I'm sorry. One for the Money, This Is Us. Oh, she plays in This Is Us as Yvette. Anybody watch This Is Us? I watched one episode. I don't like watching shows that make me cry. So, no.
It's just, that's too much. You trying too hard to pull at all my emotions. I can't.
That's how I feel about that show. It's like, she played on Empire as well. I only watched that one season too. They did a little much with that too. Anywho.
Yeah. So lastly, I guess we have our 2021 outlook and announcements for the podcast.
That was your drum roll. I don't know if you could hear it.
I did hear it. This someone we're getting was MC Light the cousin. We didn't really get a good facial on her that much either, so it could have been.
No, the cousin was Aja. I do know that. She was the girl from one of my favorite shows, How to Get Away with Murder. That was
Oh, you're right. She was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
because it was funny. I didn't realize it was her until maybe like the third or fourth scene she was in. I was like, oh, she's so talented.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh wait, I do know that face. Yeah. You're right. She was on.
She's so good. Everything I see her in, she literally embodies whatever character she is. Shout out to Aja.
Yeah, she did do good in that role.
She did.
So for 2021 and the podcast, I don't know, y'all. I feel like I'm giving us real like Biggie vibes today, and I just whatever. We here now. We at the end now. Biggie.
Oh, did you say like Biggie?
Biggie. Biggie.
That's what I thought you were saying, Biggie. But then I thought you were saying Biddy, like Siggo Biddy. And I was like, Stephanie's out of control today.
Interesting.
I was entertained either way.
Either way.
How about you drop us a couple bars? Go ahead.
Girl. Go. Nah, I got nothing. I can't. I don't got no beat. Look. That is not covered in my extra for 2021. It's not become rap star.
Darn it. I'll have to find a way to make a screenshot of you and Biggie and put it on our webpage. I mean, on our social media. It'll be cute.
Well,
go ahead.
I see him in a black shirt or a navy tee and like a chain, and like you can't see my hair.
I feel it. I'm seeing Biggie. That's why I'm waiting for the bars.
I don't even think I know Biggie lines like that. I know the chorus. Biggie, Biggie, Biggie.
One more thing.
That's it. That's all I got. Huh?
You said Biggie, 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 and then
That's it.
go ahead.
Because I don't
Make
know
the
if I know the
announcement.
words exactly, so I don't want to say them. Because, people be diehard on their Biggie.
Yes, they do.
All right. Back to what we were attempting to do a second ago. So in 2021, this podcast is actually going to expand a little bit. And we are going to now be going live every week. So our Friday, kind of our little girl chat hour, will remain at 7 p.m. like it is now. So the next one will be in 2 weeks on the 22nd. But in between, the week in between, so next week, specifically next Wednesday, we will be starting our new live segments that will take place at 1 p.m. And during the Wednesday show, we are going to be diving into more of the core of our brand here at the podcast. So we'll be diving into managing that mom life, wife life, entrepreneur life, with topics that cover and help you as a mom live your best life while juggling all these things that we juggle every day. So very excited for that. Our first episode will be covering strategizing to organize your life. 2021, let's get started. Let's get off on the right foot and let's talk about how we keep ourselves organized. Let's, make a conscious effort to do that. So that is what's coming up on this coming Wednesday at 1 p.m. That
January
date
13th.
Thank you. January 13th. I love it. It's interesting because we started the podcast on the 13th, Friday the 13th last November. So we're starting the next stage of the podcast on another 13th. So we like to play with numbers. So very excited about that. Wednesday we'll start rolling in featuring guests on the podcast with us. So people that are experts in these areas, they will be joining us on the podcast for that. So super excited. So I'm very happy to be able to bring that content to you guys. Well, we are still able to preserve our little, just end of week cool down session almost, or deep breath woosah moment, as we call it. I don't want to call it a kiki. So I'm going to come up with another word but a kiki. But it is. But I feel like kiki is for a generation below us. We can do a kiki. I guess we'll call it a kiki. That's fine. I won't call it a kiki. I'm gonna call it something else. Girl chat. I don't know.
See, that's doing the most and then some. Keep it simple. Kiki.
All right. It's not real English, but that's fine. Brittany, have anything to add to that? I think you do. Maybe not. Well, in addition to the our guest speakers or will be joining us on the podcast those days, there will be opportunities, hopefully, for some of you guys that are other mompreneurs out here to actually, kind of be featured as it ties into our themes for that week or something. So we have that we're looking into getting organized and planned out for the rest of the year too. So I'm super excited for this. I feel like we started this off back in November, kind of just introducing ourselves to you all. And, now it's time to do the groundwork. Now it's time to, really dig in and help be a benefit in your life, the same way you guys are in ours, just joining in with us. So excited for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. We're at 8:31. Super good. Britt, you got anything you want to?
I just wanted to once again thank everyone who supported us in 2020. Like Stephanie said, we started in November and we really are excited and eager about growing the brand in 2021. So I want to thank all of you who supported us in 2020. and continue to support us. And we really are looking forward to like making sure that this podcast is not only entertaining, but it's also beneficial to you guys, because that's really what we started it for. So we want to make sure we're expanding the brand and helping you guys, because we do appreciate you guys being here. We know that you could be doing anything on your Friday nights, but you choose to come and join us while we kiki.
While we kiki. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. It'll be Wednesdays at 1 is when we're going to start off our more targeted conversations on, helping build this mompreneur community, or just this mom community. So, I mean, look, running a household is a business in itself, okay?
Yes, it is. Yes,
be all writing that off on my taxes. And once one of y'all do it and get away with it, let me know and I'll start doing it too.
Exactly.
So it'll be Wednesday 1. It'll be the same format. So you'll find us on Facebook and YouTube Live. In addition, we will be going. So we did come off of Spotify for a minute. I just needed to clean up some of our audio tracks. So that will be going back live. So then you'll be able to find us again on Spotify. And our website will be coming up. Will be live by the end of January. So that once that is done, we'll make an announcement. Y'all can go check it out. We will have resources there. You'll have quick, easy access to the videos. You'll have access to our personal brands as well from the website. So, it'll be kind of an inclusive thing. And we'd love to have y'all's feedback as we journey through this, because you guys make this happen, I mean, Brittany and I, we could call each other on the phone, which we'll do anyway.
Yes, we
we love doing this with y'all. So
yes,
we hope to not hope. We know we will see you again. If you make it to Wednesday, great. If not, catch the Wednesday replay. I am blessed with a schedule that doesn't require much of me but feeding my children at this point. So Wednesday works for me, but I know people got jobs, and your lunch might be at 11, so we can't catch a 1 p.m. show. But that's fine. You will always be able to catch the replay on YouTube, on Facebook. It'll be linked on our social medias, all that good stuff. So we just wanted to thank you all for joining us, and we're so excited for what we're going to bring you guys in the new year. Super excited. I can't wait for this first conversation on organizing, because we gonna get into these happy planners now. I know Bree said I gave her one. You don't understand. I know we always, our whole kind of our gimmicky thing of this podcast is the fact that we are like one and the same. Y'all know she gave me a planner for Christmas too. Like, I opened my gift and I was like, I hope she laughs as much as I do when she gets home and opens her gift.
I did. I said, how did we end up giving each other pretty much the same gift?
Pretty much the same thing. And what's funny is you didn't have a happy planner. I needed a new notebook to write notes in, and I already cracked it open and wrote some notes. So I was like, what can we say? What can we say?
It's who we are.
Yeah.
Your souls.
All right, guys. Well, have a great night.
Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.